So you think Santa will like these red and green M&Ms?
I don't know. I never met the guy. He does exist!
They do exist. Santa?
Coming up next, a review of Pen Pen Triathlon.
パパがペンペンにハマった。今日会社休みなの？
ずーっと休みなんだって。
楽しい。ペンペントライアスロン。Dreamcast。
You know what I miss? Weird small multiplayer games. Most of the time what we usually get are live service titles or online only games with either stylized cool looking characters or a single character used as a base with countless skins. Not to say that's a problem, heck I play games like Fall Guys and Multiverses, but I really miss when we had a cast of 10 or so weird characters and unique art styles in a simple but strange gameplay style. Even if the character design isn't necessarily appealing, because I'd rather have something ugly but still sticks out and has a clear vision, rather than appealing and derivative, like most 2010s trends that overstayed their welcome, because millennials can't admit that they're getting old. It's almost 2025, and we still have to deal with minimalism, bean-mouth cartoons, and kinda awkward dialogue. Move the fuck on. Now back to video games released during the 2000s. I'm talking about titles like Kung Fu Chaos, Cell Damage, or in this case, Pen Pen Triathlon, on the SEGA Dreamcast. My first Dreamcast review, and this is what I choose. Not Jet Set Radio, Sonic Adventure, or Space Channel 5. Fucking Pen Pen. A platforming racing game featuring a cast of penguin-animal hybrids going from one side of the track to the other. As you make your way through, the gameplay switches between 3 styles, all of which are simple to learn. First there's sledding. You use the analog stick to steer, as you use the B button to go, but it's not as simple as just holding the button down or even mashing it. There's a certain rhythm that you must master to keep up with the opponents. Press the button and hold it for about half a second, or wait until the penguin's flippers are done pushing the ground, and release, then repeat. Then there's platforming. You use the analog stick to move and B to jump. And lastly, swimming, which is the exact same as sledding, but now you can move in any direction. In all gameplay styles, you can also use an attack that allows you to slow down enemies, but if you miss, you'll be the one that slows down. I think my brain fell out.
That's why I wear a helmet. If I bash my head in too many times, I might look like I had a lobotomy.
Just like me, but I had my lobotomy before I started racing. Not that you'll need to attack very often, because you'll be bumping into each other constantly, which can be good or bad depending on your position. Sometimes you'll be boosted forward, while other times you'll be bumped off the track and lose your place because of one tiny bump that wasn't even your fault. There are no items in this game, so minus the occasional bumping, everything depends on you. Well, except the hazards. There are 4 tracks in the game with 3 variants. The first is a simple 3-phase race with 5 pen pens as switches between the styles that I already explained. The second is the same as the first, but now there are 6 pen pens and also a hazard that gets added somewhere on the track. It could be wind blocking your path, trampolines in the water, or the hands of the damned trying to pull you down to hell. Maybe you should have paid attention to what envelope you were sending, you stupid bitch. Someone will get the reference. Honestly, the hazards are a hit or miss. Sometimes they feel more luck dependent than others, so that can get annoying. Sometimes all the penpens will be stuck in a single hazard, so everyone will be bumping into and attacking each other, and it just becomes chaos. This is what would really happen if a skull caught on fire.
Okay, kids, let's slowly file in a single line and gently walk to the designated exit.
That is not what would happen, and you know it. Even the teacher is probably going to book it. They don't get paid enough for this shit. You're on your own, kids. The fourth has 7 penpens racing, extending the track, adding one final section. These are usually the most interesting parts of the track, even if it's just visually. One day I'll make a top 10 Christmas levels in games, and when that day comes, this level will absolutely make it on the list, maybe. Honestly, the environments in general look great. There's a lot of snow in the game for obvious reasons, but the tracks do a good job of giving you more to look at than just white snow. Sometimes you'll even forget it's there. Now about the 4 main tracks you'll be racing on. Each level has their own theme and their own host to represent it. They're sweet, toy, horror, and jungle, oh my god! Yeah, I don't think I need to explain the issue here. Yes, I'm playing the Western release of the game, so that makes it worse. You're probably thinking, how in great Gaia did this make it through the censors? I have no idea, man. So does this mean that we have the exact same experience as the Japanese release? I'm sure all the anti-woke chuds that have no sense of self-awareness are getting ready to jump in joy at the prospect of an unaltered product, but no, there were some changes when it came to the Western release of Pen Pen Triathlon. In the horror track, you're racing through some green miscellaneous horror substance TM. Is it acid? Is it goop? Is it the stuff that Reagan throws up in The Exorcist? Gross. But whatever it is, in the Japanese release of the game, you're running through something else. Blood. The remains of your fallen icy PEGUIGOs lay before you as you must trek through, or else end up just like them. Wait a minute. If they were allowed to change the blood into some green miscellaneous horror substance TM, then why didn't they change Unca Poga's design? You're telling me that this was too much, but he was somehow okay? It wouldn't have even taken too much to make him less offensive. Just change his skin color to blue, make his lips a light blue, remove the bow tie and earrings, make the straw hat and skirt white, and you could say that he's a yeti that dreams of going to the beach. There, that wasn't too hard now, was it? Now back to the game. After you beat the 3 versions of each track, new modes are unlocked. One is called Versus Self, where you race against an entire group of the same character you're playing as. Then there's Versus Hanamizu, a one-on-one race against a sniveling idiot that's the best character in the game. If you beat him in all 4 tracks, then you unlock him as the 8th playable character. Speaking of, I think it's finally time I talked about the main characters. These guys aren't penguins, they're penpens. What's a penpen? They're basically hybrids between penguins and some other animal. Sparky and Tina are the only full-on penguins. Jaw is a pen shark, Back is a pen walrus, Sneak is a pen octopus, Valerie is a pen hippo, Mr. Bow is a pen dog, and Mr. Hanamizu is a hybrid of a penguin and an unknown species. Honestly, this is what I meant by weird rosters in multiplayer games. They could have gone with just penguins with different designs, but they decided to go the extra mile and make something entirely different. Sure, you can question the results, but I always praise something for trying something different, regardless of the outcome. Though I do wish they stuck with the 2D artwork they used in the loading screens in the Japanese version of the game, rather than the 3D renders. The artwork does these characters a lot more justice. Though I can't help but to still enjoy these renders, as I love seeing cartoon characters mixed in the realistic environments. For some reason, these screens are giving me a Cartoon Network CN City bumper vibe. But hey, art is subjective, so take that for what you will. Despite how little content this game has, I still had a blast with what was there. It took only around 2 hours to do everything, but honestly, if you got some friends who are willing to give this game a shot, I'm sure you'll get something out of it. But if that's not enough, you can also customize your pen with unlockables you get from winning races. There may not be a Ben Bear, but these freaks are ready to practice their Second Amendment right to bear arms. America, land of the free. I think I'll use my freedom to take a step outside now. Why, hello, stranger. How are you today?
What the fuck did you say to me? You're trying to get smart with me?
Oh, what? No, I was just saying. Hey, put that down. I don't want any trouble.
Please don't!
You know what? I think it's better to stay inside. It's too cold out there anyway.
We'll be back after these messages.
should I tell him?
Nah, it's Christmas.
Tis the season.
Whoa, which card are you using? Those rates are brutal.
I'll use our new Capital One Prime Lock card.
The new Prime Lock card from Capital One. It's set at Prime, so you never have to worry about your interest rate again.
What's in your wallet?
Out the light, closed for the night. Go hit the town, real scary clown. Boost to the gas, on overpass. Newbie on its perch. Google local search. Find a cafe, opened yesterday. There on the right, go grab a bite. Local event, curling tournament. Sweet till it burns, follow the turns. Back to the store, feeling fish and proud. Yikes, there's the clown on the roundabout. Give a garment. Fun local trips at fingertips. Garmin.com, Garmin.com.
Now back to the show. Coming up next, a review of Pen Pen Adventure.
Years ago, there was this YouTuber named Goemon7 who made two top lists that I really enjoyed as a kid. Top 10 goriest 2D bosses, and top 10 most gluttonous video game characters. Peanut Butter Gamer really likes that one. Liked 15 years ago. Jesus Christ. And the video is 16 years old. I'm dying. In that list, he brought up the typical characters such as Kirby and Pac-Man, while mukbanging a whole damn turkey. But he also brought up one character from a game I was always curious about since. Penta, not to be confused with Penta Penguin from Crash Bandicoot, but rather Dream Penguin Adventure, or Yume Penguin Monogatari, a Japanese exclusive on NES from Konami. Only a few months ago, I managed to find an unofficial translated version on eBay, and not only was I finally able to play and beat this game, but now I'm able to talk about it without taking a YouTuber's opinion like the gospel like some of you heathens do. By the way, I went back to check out his channel again to see his last upload was 6 years ago, and now his channel is called Let's Gets. So yeah, just saying. You star Penta, an overweight penguin who loves to eat, who gets broken up by his girlfriend, Penko, for his eating habits and weight. She instead gets with Genji, a slimmer penguin with sunglasses and a pink top hat. But she gives him a deal. If Penta can lose weight within a certain time frame, she'll get back with him. Bitch, fuck you! You're gonna leave a guy just because he put on a bit of weight? That's pretty fucking shallow. Yeah, being overweight is unhealthy, but she clearly doesn't care about his health, she cares more about his appearance. Isn't it normal for couples to gain weight anyway? Yeah, it's called relationship weight gain, which is when some behavior of those in a relationship begin to mirror each other. This can include physical activities and eating habits. Some also attribute it to dates involving eating out or sitting on a couch watching a movie together. Others say it's because those in a happy relationship feel more comfortable around their partner. Appearances don't matter as much, so they gain what they call happy weight. So for all you know, he probably unknowingly gained weight because he felt comfortable around you. And this is how you treat him? Couldn't be me. Call me a Brazilian because I love BBWs. But it gets worse. At stage 4, Penko wants to meet you on a giant cake while you're trying to lose weight. That's just plain evil. Borderline torture even. Honestly, Penta should just take his losses and leave her. Genji seems more caring considering he offers Penta his weight loss drinks that his goons carry around. That's nice of Genji, giving Penta a chance to lose the weight, even though his goons are also trying to fatten Penta up so he doesn't make the goal in time. It makes sense why this game didn't come to the West, honestly. In Japan, there was a lot of effort to keep their people fit and healthy. They are serious about that sort of thing too. If this game came out in America, it probably would have gotten flack as people would claim that it's promoting difficult beauty standards. It doesn't help how the game handles the topic of being overweight, associating it with one's worth, as the main character's girlfriend leaves him for being overweight and only wants to get back with him when he's a certain size. Even though it has good intents, that doesn't mean that everyone will see it as that. The game is a side-scrolling platformer where you must get to the end of the stage with the correct weight. This meter down below tells you where your weight goal is at. It doesn't matter if you make it to the end of the stage, because if you didn't lose enough weight, you'll have to start over anyway. Heck, it doesn't even matter if you're the correct weight either, because every stage is timed, and if you don't make it to the end of the level before time runs out, even if you're within the weight range, it still counts as a loss. Thank God this game is infinite continues. Being an NES game, your controls are simple: run, jump, and attack. What makes this game different from most is that your weight affects how you play. Being thin makes you faster, jump higher, and you have a projectile. Being medium-sized slows you down, lowers your jump, and your projectile gets replaced with this kick attack. And when you're in absolute chonkus mode...
Damn, boy! Damn, boy! He's thick! Boy! That's a thick-ass boy!
You're at your slowest and heaviest, and the only attack you have makes you stop in place and... I don't know, a gut spin attack, I guess? Maybe he's trying to crush his enemies under his weight? Dude, that's how I'm trying to die. Hey, don't act surprised, you know who I am at this point! By finding Genji's weight loss drinks, you become thinner, but everything else in the game makes you gain weight. Being fed by enemies, touching water, which makes you your biggest size regardless of the amount of weight you lost. Jesus Christ! It's like as you get older, your metabolism slows down. I'm nearly 30, so when I even just look at a picture of a burger, I feel like I gain weight. Don't grow up, kids. It's literally hell. Even in stage 4, if you even just touch the ground, you gain weight. This is like if a fetish artist was trying to find a new way to make expansion art, so they made a comic called The Floor is Fat, like the floor is lava. The game is unnecessarily frustrating, which is normal for most NES games, but this one doesn't feel like a fair challenge. It feels more like, you will die a million times, and you will like it. Suck it up, cupcake. Some enemies have attacks that feel like you have no choice but to get hit, especially the pig boss. Honestly, the flying stages have to be the worst I've played. Every level is frustrating, but these take the cake, as you're bound to lose over and over and over again. It's not even NES hard anymore. It's just plain bullshit. And honestly, as I get older, I'm starting to wonder if NES hard even means anything at this point. It's one thing to being challenging, it's another to want near perfection from the player and expect them to know where everything is and how it's going to work. It doesn't help that the only reason these games were designed to be hard was because of how short they were, trying to compensate for the amount of content an NES cartridge can hold. But it's not just that, corporations can also play a part in it. The Lion King on Super Nintendo was designed to be frustratingly difficult intentionally, as the devs, Virgin Interactive, made a deal with Blockbuster so that kids couldn't beat the game within the normal rental window. This was done hoping that they would rent the game multiple times. These games weren't difficult because they were intended to be, they were difficult either because of limitations or corporations trying to get more money from us. Much like Nintendo is fashionably late, phrases like NES hard feel more like an excuse at this point. But I'm sure you're asking yourself, why don't you just use a password? In many games of the time, you can use a password to go back to where you left off or even skip to a later level. So why don't I? Because there are none. There is no way to continue the game from where you left off if you reset it. You were expected to beat it in one sitting, which would be fine as technically the game normally takes half an hour to beat, but that's assuming you've played the game enough to know where everything is and you just get plain lucky at points. So half an hour becomes a test of patience that could last all day. Say it with me, folks, there's no such thing as NES hard, it's just bullshit. But not everything about Dream Penguin Adventure was hair-tearing out hard. The bosses, minus the pig, are actually really easy once you understand their pattern, and the last level, which starts like this, DAMN YOU! Can be fun if you're already thin as you zip across the stage at lightning speed, and best of all, it didn't feel frustrating, it felt fair. Even the final boss was okay. It's just the main stages, especially the flying ones, that suck. After the final stage, you save Pinko, who, by the way, gets kidnapped near the end of the game by Genji. You two embrace one another, look up into the stars, as Pinko becomes an "oh no, she coming" on the chonk scale as you look in disbelief. But hey, if Penta broke up with her now, he'd be the bad guy, right? She's even bigger than Penta was at the beginning of the game. Let's start our second lap. Oh god, it wants me to play the whole thing again. Oh, so does that mean there's a different ending? Oh yeah, it's so different that it's exactly the same, but they added the text, "This is really the end." I couldn't agree more. But honestly, and this isn't me trying to make excuses for the game, I think I still had fun with it. I would argue that there's no such thing as NES hard, but there is a such thing as NES charm. From the simple stories, the music, the random enemies, it's a unique kind of charm you can't get anywhere else. As frustratingly hard these games can be, I still like them. It's like the 5th generation of games. Sure, games on platforms like the Nintendo 64 or the PlayStation 1 can be hard to get back to due to how they aged, but games like Crash Bandicoot, Super Smash Bros., and even Rugrats Search for Reptar have their own unique charm. Why do you think so many indie games tried to recreate these vibes? From NES-inspired retro adventures like Shovel Knight to PS1-inspired horror games like Lost in Vivo. It's not just nostalgia, it's because these things have a unique personality that no matter how badly they age, or even how flawed some were even at the time, we still can't help but to enjoy them. I love the 6th generation of games. PS2, Xbox, GameCube, Game Boy Advance, and the Dreamcast. And while some of it is nostalgia, I would argue that it's more than just that, as I didn't grow up with the Xbox or the Dreamcast. It's because despite their jank or the plethora of licensed titles, they too have their own unique charm that others just can't match. I don't know if that makes any sense to people, but I just for the life of me can't hate this game. I probably won't play it often, and I mainly associate it with frustration and rage, but I also get a smile on my face thinking about it. I can't really explain it. So I'll just leave it at that. 'Tis a mystery. You figure it out, you dum-dum.
Accelerator?
Yes, something useless.
You'll shoot your eye out, kid. Stupid atom smasher.
Truck's back and it's better than ever for Christmas this year. The Hess truck and airplane are here.
The mission for 2002? Make the holidays soar! With a motorized airplane defying gravity and ready to rendezvous with a classic truck. Only $19.99 at Hess stations, Energizer batteries included.
We're flying this year. The Hess truck's here.
Happy holidays from Hess.
Whoa, oh, no, whoa, calm down. I'm here to help. Take a deep breath. Tell me what you're looking for. Oh, those are very popular, but we still have plenty. I know. Oh, it's going to be okay. Bye-bye.
Big guy freaking?
Oh, yeah.
We've got the hottest toys, like a Jumbo Elmo for $5 with any $75 purchase, or a free Tyco RC TMH battery and charger when you purchase select vehicles, or Bratz Formal Funk Dolls $29.99 each, only at Toys R Us.
Coming up next, a review of the Penguin.
Play games, make friends, join the community, and welcome the newest addition to the Disney family, Club Penguin.
Kids shouldn't be on the internet. It's not safe for them, social media can be debilitating to their mental health, and the list just goes on and on. I think most can agree with this sentiment, but what I'm about to say next may get many to disagree. I believe that the Wild West era of the internet, or the late 90s and the 2000s, was not only safer for kids, but also better suited for them. Heck, I would argue that it was better suited for most people in general. But why do I think this? Don't get me wrong, the Wild West era was far from perfect. Kids could still run into creeps and scams, but at least they had their own places to go. A big problem with modern internet is that there are only a few major sites that most use. Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, oh I'm sorry, X. Look Elon, no one calls it that. Everyone just calls it Twitter, and the only people who don't are you and your weird bootlickers. Doesn't matter how many times you perform your platform fight or neutral air, that isn't changing for most. The idea of a melting pot full of all different kinds of people using the same platform sounds like a good idea on paper, and sure, when it comes to people of different races, genders, and sexual orientations, we can coexist together. But the problem isn't what we are, but rather what we believe in. Forcing people of radically different beliefs and ideologies to be on the same platform isn't a good idea, which is one of the biggest reasons why everyone feels so hostile on the internet these days. But back then, we all had our own platforms or forum sites to go to. People like the anti-woke chuds or the people who claim that boobs are offensive may seem new, but in truth, they've always existed on the internet. They just had their own sites to spew on about their nonsense with, and the rest of us didn't have to deal with it. But now with everyone on the same 5 or so major sites, you hear about it constantly, either from the person directly or someone making fun of them with a screenshot quote repost. This applies to kids as well. Wild West era internet was far from perfect, but I think it was better suited for kids because they had their own places to go. Quite a few actually. I mean, take your pick. CartoonNetwork.com, Nick.com, DisneyChannel.com, Neopets, Cool Math Games, Toontown, Fusion Fall, Wizard 101, Whipkins, Movie Star Planet, and God knows how many more. Most of these games or sites either shut down or became a shadow of their former selves, probably because of the death of Flash, dying servers, or even corporate greed. But the one I would like to talk about today is none other than Club Penguin. Club Penguin was an MMO for kids, founded by, and I apologize if I butcher this name as I am a smelly American, Lance Blabadabadabadoo. Though this wasn't his first attempt to make a penguin-themed MMO, dating all the way back in 2000, his first attempt was a game called Snow Blasters. The game had a similar style to what Club Penguin would eventually become, but it would never be released. Snow Blasters then became Experimental Penguins, which did release on July 2000, but was shut down only 6 months later. A sequel called Penguin Chat 2 was released in 2003, as the penguins began to resemble what we were more familiar with. 2 years later, we got Penguin Chat 3, which would then become Club Penguin, which released on October 24th, 2005. And in just 6 months, they had over 1.2 million users. 1 year after the game released, they had 2.6 million, as the game would only grow to almost 4 million players in just 2 years, and this was done with little to no marketing, mind you. By 2007, Club Penguin was acquired by Disney. By then, they had over 10 million users and was making thousands of dollars off of their user subscriptions. The game would only grow more, becoming a franchise. It was even used as a way to promote Disney films that were about to release with new items you could get in the game. Star Wars, Marvel, Disney Animation, and more. Needless to say, Club Penguin was a surprise hit that managed to make memories for millions of millennial and Gen Z kids, with the game having over 200 million registered users by 2013. But things would only start to go downhill from here. 2015 was a bad year for the site, as the game would shut down in several countries due to declining numbers, and several employees were laid off by Disney Interactive, who would also eventually die in the following year of 2016. On January 30th, 2017, Disney announced that Club Penguin would be shutting down on March 29th, 2017. Club Penguin would die with a 13-year lifespan. But it wasn't over just yet, as Disney attempted to make a sequel that they had hoped would bring back the franchise. Thus, Club Penguin Island was created, and released on mobile devices the same day the original game was shut down. And in November of that year, the game would release on PC. But Club Penguin Island wasn't the resurgence that Disney was hoping for, as the game would shut down on December 20th, 2018, just a year after the game released on PC. Ever since then, it seemed like Disney was just done with Club Penguin, but fans weren't ready to let it go. In 2017, an unofficial revival was made called Club Penguin Rewritten. It got many nostalgic players like myself to return to the island, but this wasn't meant to last either, as Rewritten was shut down by Disney in 2022. I guess they didn't like the fact that a fan-made revival did better than their lackluster sequel.
It's my IP to sit on and do nothing with.
God, it is just depressing how many series that clip can apply to at this point. But don't fret, there is a second fan-made revival in the form of New Club Penguin that released on 2020 and is still online to this day. And this still wouldn't be the end of it, as the original team that made Club Penguin would come together with the community to make a spiritual successor called Parrot Party World. Now some of you may know that my first name on YouTube was JetRay102. This account that's somehow still up was created all the way back in 2008, and was the beginning of what would eventually become Cackling Pumpkins. But I actually discovered Club Penguin before I had my first YouTube channel. This was around either late 2006 or 2007, so the name I went with was one of the defaults it decided to give me that I still remember to this day, Sizzlin' Splat 1. I was green because back then, lime green was one of my favorite colors. Now it's crimson because I'm a real man. I'm a big old boy. I'm a big old bastard. I'm a big old boy. I'll tell you what, I'm a big old man. When you enter Club Penguin, you have this massive island you can walk on. Going to doors and pathways allows you to enter other locations, as you see other players walking around. You can talk to them, throw snowballs, and perform the iconic dance which has now cemented itself as a full-on meme. Some of my favorite locations to go to are the top of the mountain so I can meet with people sledding, and a coffee shop for the jazzy music. God, I love piano jazz. It is one of my musical weaknesses. Give me that So Near from Joel Evans and Friends ass tune. There is no real point or goal within Club Penguin, just run around, meet people, play games, and interact with the community. I remember back then in the early days of YouTube, when the site was only 2 years old, and people didn't feel the need to have a sense of loyalty to platforms, and thus it was easier for people to move on to a better service rather than just relying on the one. Listen, if we could do it with Blue Sky, we can do it with a YouTube alternative. Back then, there would be AMVs and sketch comedy videos made on Club Penguin, but if that's not enough for you, there was even a spy-based segment. Go into the clothes shop by the sledding mountain and find the secret entrance to the Penguin Security Agency. A whole new layer was added to the game. You were able to get gadgets, go on missions, and solve puzzles that encourage users to do it in or even outside of the game. This brings us to our main target and the villain of Club Penguin. Yes, Club Penguin had an antagonist, and his name was Herbert P. Bear. Despite being a polar bear, he hated the cold and wanted to move to the south. He traveled on an iceberg but was washed up on Club Penguin Island, rescued by his now new assistant, Klutzy. With no way to escape, he decided to take his frustration out on the people of the island, to the point where he destroyed the PSA with a bomb in 2010. A popcorn bomb, so it's family friendly. Yeah, burning people with smoldering hot butter and oil is way better than a regular bomb. It's like when they replace guns in cartoons with lasers, despite lasers probably being way more destructive and painful. But after the explosion, the spy agency of the game was shut down in 2010. They didn't relocate, so that means this man killed a few dozen penguins, all because he was a tit-bit nipply. But fortunately, you were able to revisit some of the old missions in the VR room, until that was destroyed, but then the missions came back again in 2015. What a complicated history just for a bunch of mini-games that many probably didn't even know about. One of so many people's favorite part of the game was the mini-games. By playing games, you can get coins, which you could use to buy clothing, decorations for your own personal igloo, and these little fluffy things called puffles. The puffles added a virtual pet aspect to the game. I can't go over all of them, as that would take way too long, but I will go over these 10. Sled racing. I already mentioned it, so I might as well talk about it in more detail. Sled racing is a multiplayer game where you race other players down the mountain. You can switch lanes to use ramps and avoid obstacles, or else you'll bash your fucking brains in. Bean counter. Found in a coffee shop, bags of beans will be tossed out of the back of a truck, and you must catch them and bring them over to the other side. Don't catch too many at one time, or else you'll slip a disc. I'm nearly 30, so I have to worry about that stuff now. Lift with your knees. That's what Walmart taught me when I was a third shift worker there.
I don't have knees. Oh,
Also watch out for pots, fish, and anvils being tossed out as well. This is the cartoon version of attempted manslaughter. Just add a piano and you can recreate Eddie Valiant's brother's murder. Ice fishing. A game that can go on forever. Just use your mouse to move your bait up and down and catch as many fish as possible while avoiding crabs and sharks. Did anyone ever catch this big old chunkus here? Is it even possible? Or is it like hard-coded to not let it happen? Kart Surfer. Minecraft meets Sonic as you ride down the track in a cart while leaning it to make sure you don't crash. You can also perform tricks, but be careful because timing it wrong could lead to vehicular manslaughter. Speaking of Minecraft and Sonic, if Club Penguin was still relevant today, I could see a penguin being added as Disney's second rep in Smash. Too bad we're in the darkest timeline. Jetpack Adventure. You take a jetpack and fly from one side of the level to the other, avoiding obstacles and getting fuel. I'm a sucker for cartoon sound effects, so of course the bonk sound does it for me. Fail and you'll fall to your death. Just kidding, this is a kid's game, which means you're not allowed to have the balls to show a mutilated cartoon penguin's body. Maybe in some edgy analog horror, but not here. Peachatron 3000. I talked about this game back when I used to do the old version of Flashback. Orders will show up on screen as you must fill them out with the ingredients presented. Just drag and drop. The daily grind. Imagine doing this for 8 hours straight for barely enough to get by. Catching waves. Use the mouse to guide your penguin as they surf on a massive wave. Honestly, it's kinda satisfying to see them go up and down. Riding the top of the wave can be tricky, but it's worth it for the points. DJ 3K. No! Your typical offbeat rhythm segment that'll just make you wish you were playing DDR or Stepmania instead. It's not bad, just way too easy, but the music is surprisingly good. Card Jutsu. Their attempt to adding another layer to Club Penguin. Go to the dojo and raise your rank by facing players off with your elemental cards. And look at that! They actually made it into a real game with physical cards that you can actually buy. And it's more than most other children's media that feature obvious merchandise potential. Where's my 2x4 technology and Phantom Thermos? I want it right now! Bits and bolts. The last game doesn't feature anything Club Penguin related, but it's still a part of it. Delete blogs by matching the numbers. Not sure why this is here, why it has nothing to do with Club Penguin, but that just makes it more fascinating. There's obviously more to talk about, and maybe one day I'll go into more detail about these minigames, but like I said, that would take way too long. I've already wasted enough time in your life, but still, nowhere near the amount of time you've wasted yourself. Did I really waste your time? Because you chose to click the video. Think about that. But what you may remember is that there was only so much you could do back then. Yes, you can play all the mini games, talk to players, and get the main experience just fine. But when it comes to the clothes, igloo decorations, and puffles, you can only get so much. A lot of it is blocked by a subscription. Without it, you can only get a certain number of clothing options, basic decorations for your igloo, and the only puffles you can get are blue and red. But by paying the subscription, you could get so much more. When I was little, I actually convinced my mom to get a 6-month subscription. I was finally able to get the full experience. Bigger igloos, more puffles, and clothing options. So yeah, needless to say that Club Penguin was one of my childhood obsessions, next to Sonic, Pokemon, Kingdom Hearts, Smash Brothers, Ben 10, Danny Phantom, and when I was a toddler, Blue's Clues and Barney. These were the things to make the biggest impacts in my childhood, and some of which I still find enjoyment out of today. But this subscription was only for a few months, so what happens when it ends? You think that it would just be that you would no longer be able to purchase the subscription-only in-game items, but no, it was way more than that. Everything you got from the subscription is taken away from you. Your igloo is reverted, your clothes are gone, and your puffles are missing, and you are only left with everything you can get for free. That's kinda scummy now that I think about it. We already gave you the money, and we already earned the items by playing the games, so why take it all away? I can understand not being able to buy any additional subscription-based items, but taking everything away just feels like a punishment for not pouring more money into the game. I only had a 6-month subscription, but imagine if someone was paying one for years, and then stopped due to financial problems. Well, fuck you, kid. You get to lose it all. It's like if you stop paying for a Netflix subscription and Men in Black come over to wipe your memory of everything you watched. It's like if you stop paying for Nintendo Online and Miyamoto comes to your house and cracks your Switch in half. Okay, no, don't give him any ideas. Nintendo is legitimately evil after all, and I'm tired of pretending they're not. When I signed on to Club Penguin the day the subscription ended and saw that empty igloo with most of my online pets gone, I was so disappointed, I just stopped playing the game. Even 11-year-old me felt like he got cheated out of his stuff. Once again, I understand not being able to get the subscription-only items anymore, but taking away what I already got? That's brutal to a little kid. After this, I stopped playing and moved on to other things. I kind of forgot about Club Penguin for several years until it was announced that it was shutting down. After this, I played Rewritten as a way to revisit the game, and remembered why it made so much of an impact in my life.
Is the coast clear?
Yes! Let's go!
Are you sure they went to Petco?
Where else would they go?
Do you see anything?
Take it easy.
Oopsie!
Calm down.
I smell presents!
Wow! There's the self-cleaning litter box I've always wanted.
And a comfy donut bed and rawhide shoes.
Uh-oh, step on it.
Okay.
Ow, not on my tail.
Petco, where the pets go.
It's Santa.
Coming up next, Screaming Skeletons, Newgrounds Games.
That's my sound check. 'Tis the season, everybody! Welcome back to Nothing On and our Christmas special this year. And you know what? It's great. Let's just play some Christmas games on Newgrounds. This is our Newgrounds Let's Play segment. And you know, let's just play some Christmas games. Games. Literally, let's see. What the hell is that? A Christmas Sigwarminator. That sounds like a slur. Now, whoever made this wall art, nice. You know how to make me happy, nice. Who made this wall art? That would be Cream Juicer 69. Somehow that name makes a lot of sense, but you know, nice. Anyway, what is this? This isn't a worm. That's a sheep. Beep, beep, I'm a sheep. I said beep, beep, I'm a sheep. Stinky Dookie. Stinky Dookie, gotta add Stinky Dookie. It is Newgrounds after all, but it is Christmas, so give him a Christmas hat. Oh, and a clown nose, because look at this clown. Look at this evil clown. And give him a wicked cool scar. I don't know where the scar goes. I guess just anywhere. But it looks like the only place it really works. I mean, if you put it here, it makes it look like he's being stitched together, but you would need more than one piece for that to really work. Anything else we could add? Like a nice little scarf. But the teeth are behind the scarf, so that is a little problematic there. Let's see. Eyebrows. He is very angry, very mischievous, this one. He looks like a fucking 90s Nicktoon, almost. Except now, oh, he's been through some shit, man. He's been through some shit. You don't want to mess with this sheep. You know what he's been through? He's had to shave his beard. I mean, yeah, because he only has a mustache left. I don't know. Let's start, I guess. How fancy. Is this like a Worms fan game? Oh, I got Christmas music. Why would I want to turn the music off? Alright. Merry Christmas and welcome to the Christmas Sig Worminator. Before I let you run rampant and create your own wormy freaks, I've created this very helpful and annoying introduction screen to point out some new features and blah 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 blah. Blah 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 blah. Just fucking get me off this bloody screen and let me make a worm. There's a lot of options. Okay, well, that might be copyrighted. Ah! I can change his color! Holy hell! We can make him be red, yellow, green, blue, white, Caucasian white, and black. I see. What shall work? Let's just have him be plain Jane white. Oh no, this is Snowman! Okay, cool. That's pretty neat. You know what, let's make Mud. You know, we make Mud. Gotta have his eyes go in different directions. And that's Mud. Let's make an edgelord's fantasy. Because that's who I am deep down inside. I will not deny it anymore. Bullet to the head? What do these buttons do? I don't know. Let's see. What do we got for hands? We can make them hold something. And say, hello! Now, what shall we make him hold? A bloody candy cane? It's stuck to the ground, so we need to put his hand close to the ground. Like he just shoved it in there. Give him some horns. Horns might be a little too on the nose, even for me. Some more blued. Different color blued. I love this shit. Just letting out the edgelord inside of me. You want to make me happy? Just have unnecessary violence. I'm 14 years old deep down inside. Merry Christmas. 'Tis the season. We need to add tiny pupils for this crazy little character. Hey, see, doesn't that work better? Put a candle on his head. Oh, you know what would be better? Have one eye be wildly different. Yeah! Yeah! Yeah, baby! Now that should be over top of the candle, but... remove the sheep. No, not a bird. No, not an old lady. No, not the super sheep. No, not a mole. No, not... kill! They have quite a few options here. Look at this, a very... what's this? Mystery? Quite a few options here, I say. Whoa! It started playing I Don't Know What Love Is. It scared the shit out of me. Oh my god, that was awesome. What are you doing? What are you doing, Emmer? My dog was trying to play. Oh, Bubby, can't you see I'm making a warm glory? Come on, Bubby. Come on. How long has it been? Almost 10 minutes already. Good lord. Barf. Ow. You can hear her in the background, too. You can tell because Ashe is bouncing every single time she makes her cute little noises when she plays. If you want to know what Nightmare sounds like when she plays, listen to this. I'm actually not doing it. You're adorable, Bubs. You know, I've noticed though, she always wants to play either when I'm trying to sleep or I'm working. Never when it's an appropriate time. But I still want to make time for her because I don't want to make her feel neglected, obviously. You're a goober. You're a freaking goober. Look at you. baby. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Found it. Oh, it's a matching game. Oh, I love these. Difference here. Difference here. I'm assuming there's going to be one with stars. Yep, there it is. Any more in the stars? Doesn't look like it. Here. Don't give me a dang timer for this. Why you like this? It's probably another one in the stars. No, it doesn't look like it. Why you give me a timer? I hate that. Oh, screw it. Well, how was I supposed to fucking see that? Was I supposed to notice this tiny little detail here? That's a very specific detail. I might ear to the ground for this garbo. Ah, yes, the shadow and the triangulation of the hypotenuse and the area of which the obtuse... Shut the fuck up. Just make them somewhat obvious that the human eye can actually register them. Don't look at me. Don't worry, I got you, bro. I crossed them out for you. But don't worry, I got you too, idiot. Christmas, I gave you my heart, but the very next day, you gave it away. This year, to save me from fear, one special. Last Christmas, I gave you my heart, but the very next day, you gave it away. This year, to save me from fear, I'll give it to someone special. Oh, how mature! How mature! See, I'm only using tab when I just fucking can't anymore. Like in this case, I knew it was a cloud. How was I fucking supposed to know it was like, oh wow, this is slightly more bumpy than the other one. Oh, hello, baby. Uh-huh. The very next day, you gave it away. This year, to save me from fear, I'll give it to someone special. Woo! Just one try, amazing! Of the 4 tries, very good. Merry Christmas, and have a Happy New Year. Isn't that friggin' sweet? But we ain't done here. We're still ain't done. That's just 2 games. Can't handle 2 games. In Sanitarium. What the hell does that even mean? This is a point-and-click adventure. Well, I suck at these. I love the vibe of them, though. They're always neat. But... Oh, no. Oh... What happened here? Oh, I have to... This is where I start clicking. Okay, so... Oh, a piece of glass. I hear a fucking creature of the depths. Oh my. I have to slowly bring it up. Rest it on my big fat belly. What's this thing? Oh. Youchers! Let me try it again. Youchers! How rude. What's this thing in my jig? I could use a cigarette. What's this thing? A lighter? I could go for a damn smoke. But what if I threw it in there? Oh. Haha! I did. Oh. Uh-ohs. Uh-oh. Me drowning. Okay, so I could come back here for air anytime I want. Cool. Try it. Go back for air. That's lit up now, but I can't click it. What would be the code for that? Oh, and there's one on this side, too. What the hell is that supposed to mean, though? Make them both blue for water? Well, eventually I'm just gonna guess this. Nope. Nope. Okay, I have an idea. Let's just guess it. Blue. And then guess blue on all of these. Okay, no. Green. Breathe. And then guess on all these. Okay. Red. Aha! Brute force it. There's a key of glory. What now? What's this thing? If I turn out the... Okay. I turn out the lights, but I can't turn them back on. Oh my god. Trying to find stuff I can interact with. I've escaped! Oh my god. That was cool. And this came in 2008. I'll put it in my favorites. I'll give you 5 stars. It didn't make me feel like a complete idiot. So, you did good in my book. You did good. Let's play one more. This is 53XY. What the hell? This is a freaking code. Oh, Christmas tree, it's time to make this fucker bleed. Pick one of the usual freaks and enjoy the fireworks as they tear this disgusting little elf into bloody pieces. I don't like the situation I'm in. Okay, there's Heartburn, Goal, Half Price, Hat Trick, Overdome. I look, it's Pim's pen pal from Smiling Friends. Come here. Back Pawn and Skinner. Let's look at him. Whammy can blame me. I saw. Oh. Okay, that was a little creative. I'm not gonna lie. Pretty alright, pretty alright. What are you gonna do, Mr. Man? Whoa, bro. Oh, okay. I thought he was gonna split, like, literally by the legs and the torso. Alright. What the hell? Okay. What are you gonna do with your special robot arm, Samus Aran? Please stop. I don't like this. Oh. Just but a flesh wound. Okay. Come here. Yeah, come here. Oh, I like that. That is the fucking Oregon Christmas tree. Now last one, Skinner. Oh, I see. Should have seen that one coming. Oh, salt? Oh no. Oh! I don't know what he did to you specifically. He must have pissed you off for you to do this.